Pete Carroll said after he talked after the game, he said he thinks when you guys come in with the second team offense, he wants to see you guys kind of pick up the tempo a little bit more with the operation of the offense. What goes into kind of working on that and trying to get better in that area?
It's good questions. Kind of my job, getting the play call and then communicating as clearly and succinctly as possible, and then getting out of the huddle. I think we definitely been trying to do that in practice and putting the play clock a little lower on the time to get us in and out of the huddle and get to the line of scrimmage and make our checks faster. So just trying to push ourselves in practice, I think, is a big part of that and translates to the game.
And I know you prioritize taking care of the ball all the time. 3 interceptions the first couple of games. Or is it kind of still learning this new offense? Is it being a little aggressive when maybe didn't need to be? Any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I thought the first game was honestly 2 ones that I wish I could have back, and felt just down about and felt like I put a team in a bad position. This last one was tough. I was trying to throw the ball with anticipation, and the guy made a good play, and obviously had a good sense of what route we were running. And so at all junctures, it's my job to take care of the ball and not put our defense in a bad spot and to continue to move the offense. And so especially in that situation where this past weekend in the red zone, and with a good field goal kicker and Daniel, hopefully have points on the board. So just trying to, like you said, take care of the ball. It's ultimately my responsibility. Obviously, it comes in different waves about when an interception happens, why it happens, but got to do a better job of that.
Aidan, how critical is it, and how do you work on using your eyes to move defensive backs off of guys and not telegraphing where pass is going? How do you work on that?
Yeah, I think practice is a huge part of that. I think film study is a huge part of it. I think it's understanding what we're doing, trying to understand what the defense is doing. So it's not one thing; it's a combination of things, and something that I think since you start playing football as a young kid, you try to work on, and you're never really a finished product with it.
I know you've been through every different role as a quarterback in the NFL, and you've been in college. But last year was a competition for starting quarterback. This year it's kind of different, preparing to be the backup quarterback. Like, has that been different in training camp for you?
A little bit, obviously, just with different intricacies of what my role is and what we're trying to do, where I get reps and stuff, and who I'm working with. But really, every day is a competition with myself. I like you mentioned, I had to learn that in high school and college. Wasn't always guaranteed that I was going to play, and so really learned how to compete with myself and not worry about other people, worry about what I'm doing to try to be the best football player I can be, and that's still a goal. That was the goal. Again, when I started playing football, it's still a goal.
Your third offense since joining the NFL, have you figured out ways to kind of expedite that process a little bit of being able to absorb a new offense?
It's definitely gotten easier. Thank God, it's definitely gotten easier. Because as a rookie, it's just so hard. There's so many things, football and then off the field, that you're trying to figure out. But it's gotten easier. We see the same plays over and over again, and maybe more so seeing the defenses and terminologies and what teams are trying to do against us. And so by no means am I done studying. I got a lot more to go on this offense to try to master it, but definitely easier than when I first came in even last year.
You got a lot of youth after your first starters on your offensive line. How difficult is it when we see you every day in training camp and you're performing well. How difficult is that when maybe you've got an offensive line that's just young and is learning when you get out under the lights?
Yeah, I think it's a great opportunity for myself and for those guys as well. And again, this is going into year 3 for me, so not that long ago I was a rookie, and I understand how hard it is to try to learn everything, absorb everything, and then try to go execute. I think there's definitely steps to it, and so it's my job to help those guys out as much as I can. And in this league, the pass rush is always going to be good, and so I all the confidence in the world in the guys I'm working with out there to protect me, and it's my job to get the protection right, communicate clearly, and get the ball out. So it's not just whatever it may be. It's not just one person's job; it's everybody's job.
And obviously, you're a competitor. How do you get to a point where you're okay with your role but not okay with your role?
Yeah, I think I try to be in any role as good a teammate as I can be, and try to be someone who people can talk to, my teammates can talk to. I think luckily or unluckily, I've been in so many different roles in college too, so I learned what it's like to be the backup, and you're not as vocal in front of the unit, but I might pull guys aside and have individual conversations about what Gino's thinking, and I'm really trying to be an extension of Chip, of Gino, of everything that's being communicated from players to coaches, coaches to players, and try to find my role that way. And at the end of all that, still trying to compete to push Gino to be the best that I can be for myself. It's only going to make everybody better if I'm a better player.
This training camp in particular, what have been some of the bigger differences you've noticed in the defense just going at them in terms of not going deep in the scheme, but just what are some things positive or negative that you've noticed so far?
Yeah, obviously some new faces that have been fun to play against, both in up front linebackers, DBs, a lot of new faces that really dynamic players. I think really stands out as guys that can do multiple different things, multiple different packages, and play safety, nickel, whatever it might be. And so it's been fun to do that. Obviously, PG's been here since I've been here, but always to see him tweaking stuff and him come up with new pressures and new coverages, and seeing different guys in there trying to execute. It's been a lot of fun to watch and compete against.
And working with Greg Olson, what are some of the takeaways that you have from his style of coaching with you?
Yeah, I've really enjoyed working with Ole, with Nate as well in the QB room, and the quarterback room has been really enjoyable for me. I think Ole does a great job of communicating clearly and trying to get me, Gino, and Cam to understand as best possible what we're trying to do, while also have some fun and bring some humor. So I definitely enjoyed my time so far with Ole.
A two-part question on Jordan Meredith. Just what do you see from him as a center and just his development there? But also, how happy are you and maybe other guys to see somebody who has worked so hard, has been such a good dude, to get an opportunity like this?
Yeah, I think he's done a great job. To answer the first part of the question, done a great job. Obviously, a super smart guy, perfectionist. Definitely wants to do everything right and work super hard for it. And yeah, like you mentioned, he has worked so hard for it. He's been in a bunch of different roles and different systems, different coaches, different spots in the NFL, and for him to just keep his head down and keep working. I think it's a good lesson for all of us to stay in your role, try to do whatever they ask you to do, and do it to the best of your ability. But it's been awesome. I think Jordan is definitely fan favorite, guy that the guys in the locker room love, and Jordan's a great guy.
He piggyback off of that, Aidan. He's a lot like Amik Robertson, where everybody in the locker room loved him. Will you talk about his personality away from the field, please?
Yeah, Jordan is he's goofy. He's a lot of fun to talk to. I think this training camp in particular, me and him have been trying to just ask each other if we're having fun. Sometimes training camp you get bogged down, so every day he asks me, I ask him, are you having fun? I think that's helped both of us, and he's a guy who I've grown pretty close with over the last few years, and it's again just fun to see his growth both on the field, but probably even more so in the locker room. He's got a funny personality. He's himself no matter who he's around, which I appreciate.
Do you feel offended at all that him and Brock and Mike have started this mustache club and it's kind of your thing?
No, I've tried to make it clear from the beginning that I don't want this to be an exclusive thing, that I'm trying to bring as many people along as possible. And so I send the bat signal out. I want as many people rocking it as we can. The more the merrier.
So you're a trailblazer?
You can say that. Your words, not mine.
You guys good?
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Aidan.